Succession planning can be looked at two ways by an executive. One is succession planning for themselves and making sure that the individual is actually ready to take the next step. So for me, if I'm looking to progress into the next role, what gaps are missing in my skill set? What do I need to expose myself to, whether it be through further study, whether it be through on-the-job mentoring or external coaching, or whether it be through reading and just absorbing other information that I haven't had as much exposure to, so that I'm readying myself for the next role. A great consideration when thinking about succession planning is to consider this. Would your organisation skip a beat, and if so, how drastic would it be if you were out of work for the next 3 months? Do you have somebody ready to step up into that role who could fill the void for that period of time? Equally, if one of your key staff members, your 2IC, was out of work for 3 months, is there somebody else that can step up into that role? And look at that across the organisation and so on and so forth. That's a great question to ask, to consider, are you putting succession planning in place? Something to consider with succession planning is look at your as is versus your to be. So what I mean by that is, where is your organisation situated now? What's its long-term strategic plan? And do you have the personnel and capability right now to set yourself up to meet those long-term goals? If the answer is no, have a think about, do you have the capability that you could groom up over the next period of time to make sure that the business can meet its goals for the future? Or there might also be an opportunity to recruit externally, which could be equally as effective. Companies that do succession planning really well think about the long term, think about what they've got in their internal talent pipeline, and actually develop that skill over time in a planned approach. For you as an individual, something to think about as well is your current skill level and capability. Is it going to set you up for your next role? Do you need to get exposure to other things that you haven't come across yet in your career? And if not, what are you doing about it? Take your career into your own hands and develop those skills to set you up for your next role. There are some enormous benefits to doing succession planning really well. You can mitigate the risk of losing key personnel within your organisation. You can create confidence with shareholders. You can create confidence with your staff and great morale. And you can also be an employer of choice by making sure that you've got people that want to come to your organisation, that are attracted to your organisation and want to stay with your organisation because they know that there's a sound career path within. For you as an individual, one of the benefits of thinking about succession planning for yourself is to keep yourself really sharp. Keep constantly developing your skills, keep continuously learning so that you're setting yourself up for the next career role. Succession planning is all about that continuity of service. So think about what the future state looks like, assess whether you have the capability now to meet the future goals. If not, do you have talent that you can groom up to get there, and how much will need to be brought in from external sources? Good luck.